What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Hey, it's the touchdown crew. To my right, I got my boy Randy. How you doing, Randy?
I'm good, man. What's good, coach?
Man, blessed, man, blessed. Just had a great Christmas, spending time with the family. What about yourself?
The same thing, man. Had a great Christmas, just blessed for everything. All the kids got everything they wanted from Santa. So we good over here.
Yes, sir. Same and same. So, so a question: what about all this football we done had, man? We done had last Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We took a break on Wednesday, started back on Thursday. Look, we let you enjoy your family for Christmas Eve, and then guess what? That Christmas afternoon, more football, and then today we got football coming.
Yeah, I love it. Can't have too much football, right?
Nah, man, can't you can't. So let me ask you this, and this I'm very very curious because I know over the time, oh, everybody was talking about, hey, Christmas days is considered base basketball. You got the Christmas games. Da 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 da. What'd you watch?
Football, man. I watched some basketball, but when football was on, that was time to turn my attention to that.
Same here. Same here. I'm not gonna lie. I think I watched half times. Like when the football went on halftime, I clicked over and said, "Okay, I see Golden State. I see you doing your thing." Clicked over.
Absolutely.
I said, all right, LeBron, y'all struggling again."
Ooh,
So
Freddie heard that.
it's all good. But that was one of the biggest things that I took from this Saturday, that you could tell the pure football loving versus the pure I want to watch every basketball game.
Oh, absolutely. I think that with basketball too, and I think it's been said a long time, you can kind of catch up. You can watch the first quarter, and there are going to be some runs going back and forth. The football, it's every play is action. You know what I mean? It's you got to see more plays in football, and I just think that and it's king. We know that. We know the NFL and football in general is king. You can look at the ratings and tell.
Yes, yes, you can. Yes, I truly believe it. But see, and then I'm a big believer in this, that I always tell is everything's about seasons. So like right now, from late July to December, that's football, that's NFL, that's college. Now, even with college, you got the Christmas break, you got January 1st. I'm not sorry, you got the New Year's Eve, New Year's games. Like those are the big games. So that's the college time. And then guess what? We're going to playoffs for football, NFL. Now that last week, when Super Bowl's over with, now that's where I flip over. Now I'm into my college. Now I check out my college game. Now I get ready for my March Madness.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
after March Madness, that's April. Now I'm NBA. I'm all about it. NBA, let's go. That's
I think you're right.
that's just how, because one thing about when you look at these sports, especially when it comes to NFL is 16 weeks, 17 weeks regular season. Like every game to a certain extent, depending on what conference you're in, it matters.
Yeah, we're
Why?
seeing that a lot more this year than probably before. Adding the
Yes,
extra week, there, the thing looks like a good idea now, doesn't it?
yes, it did. It does. So from this week, from to a week from yesterday. Well, how should I say this? From Saturday until this past Sunday, what teams you think had big wins?
So we're not including yesterday's games?
Yes, we're
Yes, we
including.
are. All right. Well, I
No
actually could
problem.
go back 2 weeks, and this is going to sound like a homer pick, but I'm picking the Colts both times because big wins over the Patriots last week, and then yesterday over the Cardinals. Home win against the Patriots, but it's a team that historically has had the Colts number. But I think that then last night, it comes out yesterday. They got half their offensive line is out due to COVID. Then late yesterday, Darius Leonard goes out. That's obviously a guy that's their best defender. He goes out. So I think that everything was pointing to them having a disappointing road trip. And what did they do? They just found a way to win. The defense played great. The offensive line protected Wentz. Wentz actually played like a serviceable quarterback. They actually did shut Jonathan Taylor down outside of one 46-yard run. He only had 105 yards, I think, but half that comes on one run, 4 yards a carry. So the Colts both weeks, to me, huge wins over other playoff teams.
Okay. I mean, to be honest with you, for me, like I said it from the beginning, and I know, and Mike's gonna laugh at me. He's gonna be like, "Here I go." Like I already picked them to beat the Patriots. I picked that 3-4 weeks ago, and I know I'm not even finna jump on the Patriots. And then I even said about Arizona from the beginning of the season.
Pick
I
them
said
to win.
Arizona's gonna look good, but can they sustain? I said that was one of the biggest issues for me. It was like everybody gets, I think everybody's, especially these young guys, and I'm joking with somebody, they get in this microwave excitement. Oh, they're good. Oh, they're back. Oh, they're this. And then the next week, oh man, what's happened to them? I'm not saying who, but what's
I
up,
know
Mike?
you're not talking about me.
Hey, what's up, Mike? Good to see you, baby.
Bro, I was coming on and Facebook decided I've had enough time on Facebook, so they logged me out. It took me a minute to remember my password and everything. It was horrible. But
You getting censored, Mike?
Yeah, it probably is. They've probably seen a couple of the comments. But man, that's crazy, Coach. What young people are you talking about specifically?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying in general. Because when there's 3 teams. I said I don't think Arizona's going to be as good at the end of the season because they always flatline. Mm-hmm. I said the Colts would be okay. They're still trying to figure everything out. They just need to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor because at the beginning they weren't. They was trying to live off Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
And I said it from the beginning, even Kansas City. I said, dog, Kansas City they're just playing around with some stuff. You got your best D lineman playing D end. When he's a D tackle. He's a Pro Bowl D tackle. But
I don't think I would have called that testing things out. I think things were definitely going wrong over in KC. I think they just adjusted.
Yeah, but it
wasn't like, oh, we're testing the waters. Like, nah, Mahomes looked like shit. Kelsey was kind of just chilling, and Tyreek Hill was kind of just running straight the entire time.
Yeah, and that was, but that's one of the things when you look at Kansas City. When you look at Pat Mahomes, if you look at all his highlights, what's Pat Mahomes doing? Running around chunky deep.
Right.
So then everybody got smart, especially after the Super Bowl. They just said, man, let's play 2 safeties high. Because one of the knocks I always said about Pat Mahomes is he can't do the check down or the mid range. That was his biggest issue. Like he looks vertical. He's not great to check down, which he's improved. But their defense was trash because you had a D tackle playing D end. Never really played the D end position. But when you move them back into D tackle, now all of a sudden your defense is improving.
Right.
But Mike, but the question is this: what we were talking about a few minutes with Randy. What was a big win, big show for a team this week?
You said a big win this week?
Yes, sir. And we're talking about all the way back from last Sunday.
Hold on. I'm pulling up I had a couple of them nailed down. Oh wait, last week was the week. My boys, Dan Campbell, what a dub. I don't care if the Cardinals are deploying or not. Like, what a dub. And I've been preaching it to the choir all year long. I like Dan Campbell. I like Dan Campbell a lot. I was listening to y'all, not you, Coach, specifically, but the top 5s, top 5 teams. Freddie, our owner of the ASAP Network, loves to say, oh, well, it matters on the week, not overall. I didn't hear a single person say the Detroit Lions were a top 5 team, but hey, that's neither here nor there. I saw the Arizona Cardinals on there, but hey, that don't make no sense to me, Randy, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I think the Lions, that was those kind of wins that could attract a free agent. And I understand that it's not going to be the biggest part of it, the biggest magnitude that brings it in, because you're going to have to bring in a lot of money to bring in anybody to Detroit. Like, that's just the point blank period part of it. But to be able to say, oh, well, we stopped Kyler Murray, this defense is kind of going somewhere. We can put up 30 points a game, like, if need be. That's kind of one of those situations. To me, I think the Lions had the greatest win of the week, just because when it's so bad for so long, to finally have something to kind of build off of and go into year 2, like for years, it's, all right, we'll win 3 games, we'll win 3 games, we'll win 3 games. But those 3 games never meant anything. You were usually beating the 0-16 Browns. You were usually beating a horrible Jaguars team or a horrible Texans team. But now you have a quality win with this. And beating the Vikings as your other win and then tying with the Steelers, those are somewhat quality, like, okay, we could take those and kind of be happy with it. Other than the Steelers, But it's definitely something to where I think you can go into next year with an idea of how to build off of something. And that's honestly what I think Dan Campbell's been just trying to do this entire time is, okay, we're going to figure out whatever this is, and then we're going to build off of it going in the next year. But if you go 0-17, there's nothing to build off of. If anything, you're going to lose more people in the free agency because they don't want to be a part of next year. But I feel like with this kind of win, it's definitely something you could build off of.
But even would you say that even, and let's just say they didn't win. Say they lost to Minnesota, which again to this day I don't care. I don't know what covers they was running.
Horrible.
But you still couldn't say that it's just one of those conversations where, hey, we just didn't get over the hump. Because if you think about it, there's 4 or 5 games this year with the Lions they should have won.
Right.
On top the Ravens for sure.
Right.
Like, I mean, you can say bad call.
Oh, yeah. The 49ers, Green Bay, they had.
I say Green Bay. I couldn't, because they were up and then they forgot to cover Devontae Adams for the field goal. Like 2 catches, Devontae going across the middle, like, oh, we're not going to cover this guy. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a good win. I think what Dan Campbell was trying to do, he's doing a great thing coaching wise. I truly believe with him, it's not necessarily free agents. It's more so draft. Like you got to kind of build your own. It's kind of like Cincy. You got to make you want to come there. Because then now, like you see offensively for Cincy, so now you can probably get a DB, you can probably get a rusher to come to Cincy because like, hey, we're gonna put up points.
They're gonna get that boy out of Michigan. It's gonna be something to watch.
But I agree with you. Let me see, Anthony. What's up, Anthony?
Oh, but yeah, Coach. My thing is, and I know you with you playing too. It's during the season, like that's all you talk about. Oh well, we should have won this one. We should have did this one. We should have did this, and this. But then when you fast forward it a little bit, you get into the off season. All you really have is when you look back is you look at the numbers and you'll go, okay, that's 0-17. Like I want to win at the end of the day. I don't care about the moral losses that we had and this and this. Yeah. I just want to win. So I feel like now that you have those somewhat of victories to be able to actually look at and evaluate at the end of the year, and then you can talk about, well, these were also the games that we should have won. So really we could have been 5 or 7 wins into the season. It could have been a lot better, but you have those guaranteed 3 where it's like 3. But it's something where you could really look at it and really say, okay, well, going in the next season, I think we could be better, especially if somebody, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers decide to leave. The Chicago Bears might blow it up. The Kirk Cousins experiment's always going to be a horrible experiment. So you look at it and you say Detroit has a window right now to where those young guys in that room and even the older guys, they could be kind of proud of building something here because the window for the first time in a long time could be open. Now, if Rodgers stays, it's closed. But, I mean, they might have an opportunity.
I mean, everybody has an opportunity. I mean, you can look – I agree with you, but I still can sell it regardless of the situation. I can show – since you said Green Bay, I can show that the last 2 plays, and I can say to this corner, like, hey, we're going to offer you this because that could have been you. That's the game we could have won if you was guarding him.
Right. But what you also have to sell to me is Detroit. And that's where you lose people.
No, not if that Cash talking, right?
It's a bad place, Coach. I've been there.
I know. Look, I mean, we can sit there. You can say Chicago's a bad place too.
Oh, it's horrible. But Coach, there's stuff to do. There's stuff to do. There's a nice downtown. There's nice food. All this. What they got in Detroit? 8 Mile? No. No.
Hey, I'm with Jim. Hey, the Saints. It was a good win, but I mean, me being a Tampa Bay fan, I tell people all the time, if Antonio Brown's not playing, the Saints will win because he's the only receiver that runs routes on Tampa Bay's team. And I mean, you can look at it. You can say, well, last year we went 0-2. Playoffs, we won. How did we win? Who was playing? Antonio Brown, because he's the difference maker. Because if you watch the game, and even if you watch us when we commentate the game, they ran 2 high safeties, One safety went over top of Mike Evans. The other
Mhm.
safety dropped down right to the middle, which that's where Godwin got hurt. Godwin's dragged across the middle. That's their favorite thing. They have Godwin go across the middle. They have Mike Evans go vertical, and then you have Gronk either going a vertical or he's running a corner route. But they couldn't get off the one-on-one on the other side, which you cause chaos. I mean, that simple as that. But I'm happy for Saints. Like I said, Saints has a great defense. They're gonna man press you. They're gonna be physical. The only issue is the offense. They just got to defeat COVID and injuries. But any other game y'all thought was a great win?
No, I think we covered it. I mean, the Saints
Yeah.
was a huge win for them, and I do think that for the Lions, I just think for Matt Campbell being a good dude and seeing what he's trying to build that culture, it was good to see them get a win.
I think the Eagles had a pretty good win too, though, but I think it was very expected just because Heineke was out. But like morally, like that's a very good win for them, especially playing the Giants this week. You can have back-to-back division dubs.
Yeah, that is true. Now, what team do you think had a bad loss?
For me, I stick right there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I was gonna, and injuries being what they are, that's fine. But it's next man up. We talk about it all the time. Tom Brady doesn't get a pass because guys were out. He doesn't get a pass for how he acted at the end of the game. He doesn't get a pass. If you're the GOAT, you conduct yourself like that. And the team as a whole, you got to play better than that. I put that on Bruce Arians and on Tom Brady. I think that was a horrible loss to a depleted Saints roster. So that's a bad one.
I had and it might have been for this week's game, but I had the Titans versus 49ers. I was watching that game full-heartedly, and I was looking at it, and the way that the 49ers defense just kind of folded. I watched Ryan Tannehill do something Derrick Henry does. He said, Derrick's not here, I'll do it. Ran 30 yards.
I really needed the 49ers to get a dub for me too, man. The Colts needed that.
It was Coach, I didn't even know what to say. When I saw Ryan Tannehill run past Bosa and Wagner and all those dogs on there, like it was like he was Justin Fields, like he was Kyler Murray, like he was Lamar Jackson. I was like, someone break this kid's neck. And not a single soul touched him. Not a single soul even came near him. And that's where I was like, that's the problem with the 49ers right now is, and I've said it for a long time, is their problem, and everyone thinks it's Trey Lance versus Jimmy Garoppolo. That's not a problem. Like, that's a good problem to have. Andy Dalton and Justin Fields, that's a problem because you can't really make a clear case of who you really want. But Jimmy Garoppolo is playing good ball. Like, he's doing his thing. So there's really no reason to rush Trey. But the 49ers problem to me is that secondary. It always has been the problem. After the Richard Sherman era, the experiment, not era, ended, they really didn't bring in anybody else to really justify that or really build up that secondary again. So I'm looking at it, I'm saying that's why you've been losing these clear-cut games. You've had the leads so far in. Now, Wagner does his thing. Bosa does his thing. Those guys all do their thing. But they're not playing in the secondary at the end of the day. And guys know they can air it out. Or if they get past they get past Wagner and Bosa, they're going to be relatively solid the rest of the game. So I look at it like that. Even Ryan Tannehill, once he got past Wagner, he was like, oh, we're straight. Like, we're cooling. And he just took off, and he didn't care who hit him. Because who's hitting him? Doesn't matter. But it's definitely something to me where I just think the 49ers this year, I hate investing money into a defense, but you definitely should bring in a couple corners just to play around with, because it's a risky move. It's a really risky move, especially now you don't have the draft picks. That was the biggest thing I thought about that whole game is you trade your picks to move up for Trey Lance. And now you're looking at it and you're like, all right, well, now you're in a position where you're not winning the division. You're probably not making the playoffs. And you're going into next year with a regressing defense and a rookie quarterback. So I'm like, you have a lot of things to do, and you're kind of in this step right now where, let's be real, it was one of the most disappointing Super Bowl runs I've seen in a while. Like, at least with the Bears, okay, fine. We went to the wild card, never further. You went all the way to the Super Bowl and then regressed heavily ever since. And it's just really disappointing to see them not sustaining success like that. And I think it all kind of starts with just building up that secondary again.
I agree. I think quarterback play. Yeah, we you trade up for Trey Lance or whatever. Why? Quarterback play.
Right.
Because Garoppolo didn't get you to the Super Bowl.
No, right. Like that's fine.
In
You know
the
what I mean?
championship, he threw 8 passes.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you really want to say, if he didn't overthrow the post route, they would have won the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I think that's one thing about it is we can sit here and we're gonna talk about this, and I know Randy's gonna probably get mad at me and later on one of the topics. Quarterback is king.
Right.
If you ain't got no quarterback, you ain't winning no Super Bowl.
Facts.
You can't name a year, especially nowadays, that you make it all the way to the Super Bowl without a superstar quarterback.
Right.
Because even if you look at, and you can take even Pittsburgh, why is Pittsburgh still hanging on with Ben? Because hell, that he's the best thing they got.
I mean, there's not a lot there though. But.
So I mean, and think about it. Why are people trading up for quarterbacks? Hell, this year it's not a good quarterback coming out, but will be a quarterback that's gonna be in the first round.
You know, we keep saying that though. Watch one of these kids be like the new GOAT. Watch. Everybody is like, these kids are dog shit. Like, watch one of them be amazing, and we're all just gonna be.
But
like,
it's not. I'm not saying that they're.
No, I hear you, Coach. But that's all I've been hearing from like ESPN and stuff. Is, oh, they're all horrible. They're this, and this. And
No. I'm never saying.
No, we're not saying that. But like, I'm just waiting for ESPN to be like, oh yeah, we knew about that kid the whole time.
No, I just like from what I've seen from watching the games, like college games. It was like, oh, like old boy from Alabama, he's legit. I don't care what you say. I said he got to work on his deep ball, but watching just how he moves, like quarterbacks that I've seen, I haven't seen one that's like, oh, okay. Now, anybody has potential. You get under there, you work, you figure it out. But I think that's one of the biggest things. And my man Jim said, Dilfer Brad Johnson started the century last ones, and Denver never carried the old Manning. But Manning made the plays when needed to. Like,
right.
That I think that's one thing about it was, and you can see the year that they got smoked by Seattle. Right. Manning he couldn't throw.
I will say though, Coach, the last time we really saw like a bad quarterback lead a team to a Super Bowl, he didn't even end up playing in the Super Bowl. It was Brock Osweiler, with the Broncos. Like, that was definitely something to me. It was like, all right, well, he took you there. But even in the Super Bowl, they said, we're going with Manning because Manning knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? So, like, I definitely get your point to that extent. But Brock definitely took him there.
Yes. I think what's that? Daniel said, hey, don't need to draft an elite quarterback when you can go get a Russell Wilson. Hey, but you're gonna have to pay. Like Seattle's not. They're not, because here everybody knows it. To talk Super Bowl, you need an elite quarterback. Right. And I think what people don't realize, when you're gonna have to pay 3, 4, 5 first round, second round draft picks. Like I said, you can say Aaron Rodgers. That's one of the things. Do you really want to see? You really want to get Aaron Rodgers? Because now it's
Aaron can just walk.
I know he can walk, but I'm just saying. But it's one of those things. How much do we know about Aaron Rodgers? Because now you got to change. Because Aaron Rodgers, one thing I have noticed about Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't change the plays. Like, he goes with what the coach says, even though they don't run nothing special in Green Bay. Right. It's very, very simple. But is that going to work? Say a Denver, where your OC is not creative, whereas your head coach, all he wants to do is run the ball.
Right, and that was the problem with Rodgers and McCarthy is he'll make sure, like, this is the hand you're dealt. Like, if this is what you call, I'm not going to make it look better for you, because he's just not that type of guy. Like, and rightfully so. That's not his job. That's not his job to be like, oh, I'm coaching and I'm throwing the ball. But if something looks like shit, call an audible. You know what I mean? But that's just who Aaron is. He's predicated himself on that. It's kind of his little experiment to see if guys work out or not. But like, one team I think that really could get him is honestly, like, for a Russell Wilson type of situation, like you're talking about trading for picks. I think the Kirk Cousins experiment could potentially end up in Seattle. And I just think that because he's playing elite ball. And I definitely think you could offer Kirk Cousins probably 2 first-round picks and get away with that. Now, if you don't have a quarterback, but coach, like I'm saying, if you're Miami and you're offering Tua, I'm going to need like 5 first-round picks.
Because I'm still not taking it.
Right. You know what I mean?
You take Tua over Kirk.
Not right now.
No, I would not.
But only reason I say that is because he's at the end of his contract. So that's where all his big money's at.
Right. But
it's not even about the money to me. I don't want Tua to be my future.
I don't think Tua's going to get a bunch of contracts in the NFL.
No, I don't either.
You don't think so?
I think they're going to be short-lived ones.
Why, Randy? I'm going to start with you because you've been quiet.
I just don't see it. I don't think when you look at, the young guys that come in the league, we expect more out of them earlier in their careers now. And I just, from what I've seen from Tua, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not even talking about the injuries. I'm just talking about winning football. Yeah, right. They're 7-7. But, I mean, as a winner, can that guy go get you a playoff game? And to me, the answer is no.
And for me, it's like a Patrick Mahomes thing. Now, I'm not saying these guys are on the level of the weapons that Patrick Mahomes has, but you have Will Fuller, you have Devontae Parker, you have Jalen Waddle, who is already a top 25 wide receiver being a rookie. He's a solid kid. Like, he's emerged. He's from Bama. Tua. And you have Gesicki. You have all these dogs. You have a good defense. But no one's talking about you and how you're flourishing. No one's talking about, look how Tua's playing with all of these weapons. He has all the weapons in the world, all the weapons Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and all these other guys wish they had. And Trevor Lawrence is like gawing at the idea of what he has in Miami. But he's not doing anything with it. One, you can't stay on the field, and that's a whole conversation in itself. But two, when you are out there, I always see a good catch by Jalen Waddle. I never see a good throw by Tua. That's never something that's passed my mind. That's never something where I've gone, wow, that was a good ball by Tua. That was a good decision move. That was good running. That was good this. That was good that. I never have those moments. I always have, wow, those guys are making him look a lot better than he is. And that's where I'm at with Tua. Now, can he change that? Sure. But as of right now, going into year 3, I'd be very concerned about Tua because I think it was a risk when they took him from the jump because I didn't feel like they were really in a position to take a quarterback. And they took one anyways, but I think they're going to have to take one again probably in the next 3 years.
I don't know. I think Tua is –
he's okay.
If I look at Tua and you ask me this right now, I take Tua over Baker Mayfield.
That's a good debate. I mean, that's a pretty good one.
Because one thing about it is, I think what we mess up, and I'm with you, Mike. Well, my biggest knock on Tua is injuries. He kind of had that was he did it even in college, and you know, like, and even when I say with
Coach, if you not to cut you off, but if you take the personalities and the off the field stuff of Baker away, and you just look at it numbers, who are you taking? Because Baker's over here, he's thrown over 4,000 yards a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but we're talking about one thing. Tua
in Cleveland of all places.
But he had. Don't get it twisted. They spent some money. They had some receivers.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Tua's got receivers.
But I think that's the thing. I think when I look at Tua, I look at first thing, most important thing, coach. Well, who's your OC? Who's your guy? Who's coaching him? Second thing is can he stay healthy?
Right.
I think if he can stay healthy and they finally figure out an offense around, because again, when you got because you got to look at it, when you got a defensive mind coach,
right, it's bad time.
When you got a defensive mind coach, usually, you know, they say offense, I want to run the football. Right. I want to milk because look,
the easiest thing they can do.
Because if you sit here and think about it, you look at New England,
right?
You look at Miami. I'm trying to think of Denver. Like these defensive minded coaches, their first thing they want to do, they want to milk the clock as much as they can and just play defense.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things, because when you say Pat Mahomes, that's an offensive minded coach. So usually when you're an offensive guy, you think more of your offensive side, and then you go build your defense.
See, that's where I'm talking about, though, is what Tua was taken to be for that head coach you move up for a quarterback to be able to make the decisions that you can't. That generational type guy that's going to be able to make those plays like an Aaron Rodgers, like a Russell Wilson, like a Tom Brady type guy, or Randy or a Drew Brees type guy. But Tua isn't that type of guy to lead that offense by himself. And that's where the problem is.
Randy, you a Drew Brees fan?
Well, no, Jim is. I respect Drew Brees.
But all he does is hear about it. So I
hear about it all the time. I love Drew Brees. I'm glad he didn't decide to come back last week.
The Chargers?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was bad. He just got hurt. I mean, and not to mention you had a Hall of Fame guy come in behind him. I mean, Phillip Rivers. So, I mean, plus he was hurt. The Saints really took a huge risk when they got Brees in the first place, but Sean Payton knew what he had and took a chance. I mean, you guys remember it was either Culpepper or Brees in Miami, and I think that it was even that Brees wanted to go to Miami, but Sean Payton talked him into coming to New Orleans. The rest is history.
No, the doctors in Miami said no.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
The doctors, because Nick Saban wanted Drew Brees, I think that was the biggest issue. If he had a Drew Brees, we would. Who said it? But I know for a fact Jim Cross said wrong. Here we go. Read the book. What book? I don't know the book. I'm just going, Jim. I'm just going off of what Nick Saban said, because Nick Saban said that he wanted Drew Brees to go to Miami, that they was finna get ready to go to Miami, but the doctors, they denied him because of his shoulder.
You know, we were talking earlier, just not to go back too far. We're talking about Russell Wilson. To me, the team that makes the most sense for a guy like that is the Saints. But I don't think they can make it work with cap room and everything. But he fits that mold of what they do as far as, you know, and I don't mean just like the smaller quarterback, but to me, Russell Wilson would be a great fit with Sean Payton.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it'd be something. It's an interesting experiment.
You think so?
I don't think they have the money to financially get Russell Wilson.
No, they're broke.
Yeah.
But you think he'll fit? You think he'll fit well? Because in that offense, it's more like when you see Russ throws the ball, everything is vertical and I run around.
Right. Well, when Brees could throw the ball, it was vertical and they could run around. But when he couldn't throw the ball in his last couple of years, then they had to start doing something different. I mean, that's why a lot of the reason why Michael Thomas gets called slant boy, Drew Brees couldn't throw the ball deep anymore.
And that's the conversation no one's ready to have. But that's the conversation where Jim's like, no, he just can't run. And I'm like, no, man, you just don't. You know what I mean? Right. Like it's just like Coach and I talk about it all the time. Allen Robinson for the Chicago Bears last year, top 10 wide receiver, easily top 10 wide receiver, probably in the neck of like 7 to 10. But this year, all he's running is slants. And a big reason you have to understand that is because they don't want Justin Fields to just be trigger happy with throwing the deep ball, even though he can, you know, like that's not something we're going to predicate you on. We're going to actually game plan for you. Now, all season long, whether it's Dalton, Foles, whoever, he's just been running slants. So I feel like there's a little bit more going on than just, you know, these guys can't do it, because I know Dalton can. I know Foles can. But it's definitely something to where you have to adjust to what you have. And when you have a rookie quarterback or an aging quarterback, these guys aren't going to be running 60-plus yards, throwing out bombs, unless you're Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. And it's unfortunate. But, I mean, I wonder how many rings they would have had if Michael Thomas was there a little bit longer. But,
yeah. So moving on. I'm going to start with you, Randy. Top 5 coaches this year. This year. Not last year, not the year before, not when they had Tom Brady and they won Super Bowls. This year, top 5.
I'm still going to go with Belichick, and I know you're going to disagree. I'm still going there because they weren't even – he's number one, because what they're doing, they're right there. They win today, they're going to win the division with a court. They weren't even supposed to be in contention. The Bills were supposed to run away with this. Absolutely. Absolutely, Coach.
No, see,
absolutely.
Hold on. Again, Mike can tell you, I didn't believe I wasn't sold on the Bills. I was there. We had a huge argument, especially Josh Allen. I never was sold on them.
Me either, but
I like Josh Allen.
That's not even
right wrong, Mike.
I love Josh.
I agree.
Allen.
I agree.
Still love Josh.
I do love Josh.
So you got New England Bill number 1. Who's 2?
Matt LaFleur. And I only say that because of off-season stuff, all of what that guy had to deal with, constantly having to deal with Aaron Rodgers' personality and then being in the 1 seed. And they're finding ways to win games. And it's not just Aaron Rodgers doing that, although that's a huge portion of it. 3, I'm going my boy Frank Reich. They really started, horribly, losing double-digit leads, but winning 8 of their last 10. I know you could say something about each loss. Obviously, the Cardinals are fading. The Patriots, they have their limitations, but winning games when they need to, game back on the Titans. You look back at so many games now and say, like, dang, they could be in – have a firm grip on even the 1 seed in the AFC if they had just played this way in the beginning of the season. 4, I'm going Zach Taylor because what the Bengals have been able to do so quick. Burrow is a generational talent. The wide receivers, obviously, those dudes are doing their thing, but they're playing well. And right now, division leaders. And I really am, 5, I'm torn because I think you could knock either one of these. I'm between Sean McVay and Andy Reid. And I say Andy Reid because a lot of people, like you said earlier, they're saying, they didn't have a good start to the season. But, I mean, look at them now. I mean, they're the 1 seed, and they're going to go into the playoffs probably with home field advantage. And that was after everybody wrote them off and left them for dead. And now they got, 10 wins? Going in today, they could have 11.
Stephen A. So, Nate, if you're somewhere, Nate, roll the tape where he said that the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty was over. I love that. I was like,
talk about him.
Yeah,
Mike, what you got?
So my list, a little bit different. A little bit of the same though. Number 1, I got Bill Belichick. Sorry. At the end of the day, you spinning. I don't get it. Like, he ain't never done nothing to
But you're saying no, stop. Y'all are saying number 1. You could go.
I said what I said.
You're right. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna let you ride with it. Go ahead.
To be able to get called horrible, you know what I mean? Getting called dog crap, absolute smothered after Brady left. Brady wins a championship in his first year gone. Bill struggled because all he had was Cam Newton. You go into the offseason, you put in money into this team, you get in new free agents, you bring in a young quarterback in Mac Jones, a national champion, and look at you now. You win 6+ games straight, you're doing your thing. You potentially taking the division back. It speaks volumes. Now, I would love to give it to Matt LaFleur. I really would. Because I like Matt. Matt's a good coach. I've always liked Matt. I think he's a good guy. I think he kind of does. He needs to adjust a little bit better. But I definitely think it's one of those situations where I'm not going to give you Coach of the Year just because you have Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. Like, okay, that's cool. We just named those guys Matt has. Now let's name the guys Belichick has. Mac Jones.
End of conversation.
That's the entire.
Are you talking about offensively?
Okay, Hunter Henry not in his prime.
No. You're talking about what? Well, let's talk. You can flip it to the defense.
Like, we're talking about at the position. He has a number 1 wide receiver at the position. You have potentially a number 1 quarterback at the position and a top 5 running back at the position, right? And a good offensive line. It's been top 10 all year.
Okay.
Then you look at what Belichick has. Just a bunch of guys on deals just to scrape things by. None of them are franchise guys. None of them are going to be here for the long haul other than Mac Jones.
You pay $500 million for those guys that you're talking about.
No, you paid $500 million for 15 new guys. Not 3 of them. So that's a common misconception. Like, Bill put in a lot of work into this entire team, and that's why you lost Stephon Gilmore, and there's still a corner on your defense that has 8 interceptions on the year. Let's talk about that. And half of the league couldn't tell you that kid's name right now. So I think that speaks volumes to who Bill is. But at 2, I got Matt LaFleur. Records speak volumes. You're still doing your thing, even with the whole Aaron Rodgers problem, even Devontae Adams problem, kind of, because both of them were kind of in the same boat, talking about this is the last dance for both of us, this, and this, and now they're both still here. Aaron Jones has gone down. The way he's using A.J. Dillon is the way I wish the Bears would use Khalil Herbert, because, you have a duo in the backfield. He's using him amazingly, especially from the passing game. So I got him at 2. At 3, I actually have, and this one shocks a lot of people, I have Kyle Shanahan. I feel like Kyle Shanahan's one of those, coach. What Kyle Shanahan could have done was, I'm putting it at any moment, I'm putting in Trey Lance, and Trey Lance is staying in for the rest of the year, just like Chicago, just like Jacksonville, just like the Jets, just like all these other teams. But he doubled down on it. He said, we're going to run with Jimmy, and we're going to let this kid grow. And I think from a coaching perspective, he made the best move for his franchise moving forward, because now Trey Lance has nothing but success to lead into year 2 going on. You know, you look at Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they asked Trevor Lawrence, what was it like when your coach kicked someone at practice? And this kid's getting eaten alive by the media because Gardner Minshew's not there to take the hits for him. Justin Fields is getting sacked 9 times in a game. Zach Wilson loses the starting job to Mike White. Trey Lance, he's chilling. He's living his life. Keelan Mond and Trey Lance are the only ones vibing right now. Mac Jones is flourishing. That is, you know, we always say it. Randy's been on there before when we said it. Every year there's one guy, one rookie who plays like he's been in the league for 10 years. That was Mac Jones. A lot of people doubted that. But so that's why I got Kyle at 3, just because there were a lot of moments where he could have just said, you know what, we're running with Lance. And he didn't. He doubled down on what he said, and he's been the most consistent all year with what he wants to run. At 4, I got Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor is one of those guys to me that I think, you know, he's really changing the culture. You know, I questioned his job a lot in the Andy Dalton era, but now it's kind of showing me that the kind of quarterback he was looking for isn't something that Dalton could offer at any point in his career. So I'm really interested to see what kind of play calling continues to go as Jamar Chase gets older and more experienced. Then at 5, I have Harbaugh because they are winning games a lot without Lamar Jackson this year, without wide receivers, without an entire secondary, without a running back core. They're doing it all, and they're still pretty solid. So I have to put John Harbaugh out there because, I mean, he's won 2 games with Huntley. So let's be real, lost 1 because he's an idiot. But, you know, he's definitely been putting things together with what he has. And if you want to talk about having the worst luck, the Baltimore Ravens have had the worst luck all year. So I definitely do think at the end of the day, Harbaugh deserves to be on that list.
I'm not putting Harbaugh on the list. Not when he's cost his team 2 losses with his decisions. I can't do it.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But again, they wouldn't
love
have
that guy, though.
Wins if it wasn't for that game plan. But he's his own worst enemy.
No Frank Reich, man. I'm disappointed in you, Mike. We got to talk about this. I can't wait till we get to fired coaches.
I was thinking about it, but I'm going to be real with you. If it's not for Jonathan Taylor, I think that's a top 5 lottery team. Like, I really do. I think Jonathan Taylor is I mean, let's be Randy. You think Frank Reich went up there and said, you know what? Go run 60 yards to the house. Like, that's not what you said.
I mean, he probably said it because that's how he rolls. I'll tell you what I like about Frank Reich is I like him. He will take huge risk. And you said you were watching Hard Knocks. That team loves him. Like that.
Oh, yeah,
team, right. That shouldn't be something that's not common in the NFL. But if you watch those guys and listen to their interviews, they love that man.
Must be nice. Yeah, I don't have that.
Hey, real quick, was George actually the Patriots didn't rebuild. A lot of them didn't play last year, especially on the defensive side because of the COVID situation. So they rebuilt. They got what I think the DN, the rusher from Baltimore. I can't think of his name right now. And then a lot of the guys were on the offensive side that they got, and they kept the linemen. They spent the money to keep the linemen. So that's one thing. To be honest with you, man, I'm going Mike Vrabel, number 1. Here's why. Here's why. Everybody's hurt. The secondary's hurt. Y'all can say you can scratch your head. I'm going. Hold on, time out.
Leave me be.
Hold on. Because you look everything that y'all sit there, y'all made an excuse on about. Well, Bill had this and this and that. You had your whole offense out. Still won games. Like you were still in the top 3. Hell, you're still in the top 3 because you're winning the division. Secondary was out, and you not one time you hear Mike Vrabel say anything. Not one time you hear him complain. Not one time you hear him say this, and that. They just keep playing. So I had to give him number 1.
I'm not giving any coach number 1 that loses to the Texans. I'm not doing it.
Well, that's fine. Because guess what? Your guy that had number 1, he was this close to losing it. Texas tricked it off.
Hey, wishes were fishes, my man. He didn't lose, though. He won. And what happened when my number one guy played your number one guy? Beat down City.
You're right. They're still winning the division.
They are.
And
as
I
a
can
Colts
say,
fan, that hurts me.
You know what? And you know what I can say? And Randy, you watched the game, correct?
Oh yeah.
So let's play devil's advocate.
Yeah, I love this game.
If Derrick Henry was there, would they throw the ball on the 2-yard line? Or would they run it in?
Now I got a question for you before Randy answers.
No. Right or wrong?
They'll probably run it in. It's not Pete Carroll up there.
Hey, hold on. Stop, Randy. Next question. Is Derrick Henry gonna fumble 2 times?
Oh, well, that I'm not. You saying he doesn't fumble? Because he does fumble.
2 times in a game?
Well, maybe not 2 times in a game, but let's not act like he don't have.
No.
He does fumble. I mean, they got beat by like 25 or something though.
That was late. That came on late at the end. You saw that game.
I watched the game, but I mean,
what was the score going to halftime?
It was. Oh man, it was like what a 13? No, 10. It wasn't a beat down at halftime. I'll give you that. I mean, it was close.
It didn't get nasty to the 4th. Well, go ahead, Mike. Answer the question since y'all knocked down my number one.
If Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski never come to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are you still a poverty franchise?
You said, are we still a what?
Are you still a poverty franchise?
No.
Oh, so you think you would have won?
Won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So why are we on Randy's neck?
What are you talking about?
Tom Brady saved your life, and that's why you hate Bill.
Tom Brady didn't save my life.
Tom Brady saved
But you know, hold on, stop. Time out. Randy, I don't even know what team you are. The difference between me and you, Mike, I don't go every day thinking, like even now, like even the Saints we lost to the Saints. I'm not thinking that the end of the world. Oh my God, we're going to lose. Oh, we're so sorry.
Oh, no, it's the end of the world for different reasons. Not the same.
That's the difference. Even before Tom Brady came, we were a good team. We just didn't have a good quarterback coach. I said that in a heartbeat. Winston was good. You see, when Winston went to the Saints, he was good. He cut down on his interceptions. We didn't have.
He got LASIK.
Huh?
He got eye surgery. He said he couldn't see.
Oh well, that too. But I truly believe like when you say like guys like Bruce Arians needs a veteran quarterback. Like Nagy probably needs a veteran quarterback. If you give Bruce Arians, because even when he was with the Cardinals, he had a veteran quarterback. So I agree with you, Mike. No, we probably wouldn't. We would have made the playoffs, but we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. Is that what you want to hear? Yes, Mike, you're right. Because Tom Brady's the GOAT.
That's all I wanted to hear.
That's it. Look, I don't think with my heart. I think with my head.
I'm just saying, I've given this man Nick Foles, given this man Andy Dalton, given this man the world. Number 1 defense every single year. 8-8. Get out of my face with it. Get out of my face with it. Disrespectful. He's disrespectful.
But you say that. You said Andy Dalton. You say Nick Foles. Nobody else.
Coach. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. And it's not even a Matt Nagy thing. It's a coaching thing.
God dang, I can't even get my list out, but we gonna.
It's not a rant. It's not a rant. It's what bothers me a lot, and I know it bothers you too. So this is my buddy. I actually go way back with him. Thomas Graham Jr. He's on the Bears. He got drafted in the 4th round, right? Now Eddie Jackson's drafted in the 5th round. Tariq Cohen's drafted in the 6th round. Khalil Herbert 6th round. Darnell Mooney 5th round. All these guys in later rounds. Matt Nagy's job as a coach, yes or wrong, as a coach in general, as a head coach, is to evaluate talent, is to see what you have in training camp, to see who's good and who's not. Now, Thomas Graham, all preseason long, everyone's talking about this kid getting interceptions. Matt Nagy puts him on the practice squad the first 15 weeks. This kid comes out against Justin Jefferson and locks him down in his first NFL game last week. The only reason you were up is because everyone got COVID. Where have you been? Why were you on the practice squad that long? Why is Daz Newsome on the practice squad? Why was Khalil Herbert on the practice squad? Now, once they come up, they're rushing over 100 yards. They have over 100 yards receiving. They're locking down Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams. As a coach, Nagy or not, you're supposed to evaluate talent. You have Duke Shelley as your cornerback number 2, and this kid's out here locking up the best of the best. You had all season long, You had all summer long to evaluate who was good and who wasn't. This kid was getting praised by the media. This kid got praised by ESPN. And he was on your practice squad because you said you didn't think he was ready. I don't think you thought you were ready to use him.
But here's the problem.
You can't tell me that kid sat for 15 weeks.
Now, I don't, Mike. First off, I don't even know who the guy is, to be honest with you. You know
exactly my point. That's exactly my point.
But listen to me. Here's the thing that when you look at stuff like that, and when you go into like when they meet, Nagy he can't evaluate everybody. Like when people say that, and what is Nagy, Mike? Is he an offensive guy or defensive guy?
Couldn't tell you.
Either.
Couldn't
if
tell
you
you.
want to say neither, whatever. He's more on the offensive side.
Right.
I think what people realize, he don't have time. He don't really look at the defense.
No, right. That's my thing, though, Coach.
But
shouldn't you look at your draft picks, though? If anything, like the free agents, fine, whatever. The walk-ons, whatever. Practice squad, whatever. Your freaking draft picks that you drafted?
Mike, you played high school football. Your head coach, what was he? Offensive guy or defensive guy?
Defensive guy.
He's a defensive guy. So where do you think he stayed majority of his time? On the defensive side or the offensive side?
He stayed on the offense. I'll give him that. Like he was over there. He let us do us. Like he was all something.
Then if that was the case, he felt comfortable who was over there. Like you take Nick Saban. Nick Saban won the British Cup.
Oh no, you knew I was over there, Randy. That's why that was what happened.
But if you take Nick Saban,
right.
Nick Saban doesn't go on the offensive side that much. He stays majority on the defensive side. You take Bill for the Patriots. He stays majority on the defensive side because when the offense is on the field, what do you think Bill's doing? He's over there drawing up circles and everything else, saying what they need to do. Like, and you know what Bill does? Bill goes to who he trusts, the offensive coordinator, and he says, "Hey, what do you think about this guy? Or what do you think? I think this, and that." But then also, what you got to realize, I don't know how the management or the pecking order goes in the New England, in Chicago, because guess what? That GM or that owner might say, "Hey, why do we have $7 million sitting on the bench?"
Right, but we don't.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
They're all rookies. They're all.
And then on top of that, you gotta realize, does he fit the scheme of what your DC has?
Right.
Because guess what? Your DC was out. That was a different guy.
He was there.
Huh?
He was there.
No, not in the not yesterday. I mean, not Sunday.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't. You had the DC black?
Yes, he's Indian.
No, you had is he the secondary coach? Your secondary coach was the DC.
Yeah, but Sean Desai was there. He was just up there because he didn't get called. He didn't get called to be with the team.
But he didn't call the plays. Is what I'm saying. He didn't call the defense. Huh?
He was up there.
No, he didn't call the plays. You saw what he was playing.
I hope he saw it.
Stop. I'm about to mute you. Randy, answer this question. Did you watch the Chicago Bears game?
I did not subject myself to that madness, Coach. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not watch it.
But did you watched it a little bit?
Yeah, I did.
Against the Vikings.
I did.
Was they not that defense? They were running a total different defense they have ever ran.
It looked different.
Because they're pass rushing, they was playing man.
Randy, we were running with a practice squad.
Come on, man. Like
I'm not. Hey, Mike, I ain't hating. No hate here.
Of course they look different. It was a whole new team.
Yes, because there's different people calling the plays.
I guess not the fact that there's 11 different guys out there.
It doesn't, but it doesn't matter, Mike. If me and you play Madden, you're gonna call plays.
Madden, bro. I don't even play Madden like that.
But even if you do, you go play you gonna call plays to what you feel comfortable playing. That's the same with me. Like people tell you, when I run the ball, I'm smash mouth. We're gonna have a fullback. We're gonna go ahead. I'm not running all that other crap. I'm not gonna run the glitch plays. But that I can, and pass well, I'm gonna spread it out. Right. Everybody has their particular thing, and you want to say Nagy, and don't get me wrong. I told you from the beginning, 40% of the reason why, 50% of the reason why the Nagy is Nagy. 40% is the ownership. 10% is the quarterback. Because you can sit there and say they drove the field. They was in the red zone 6 times. That ain't Nagy's fault. He did everything he could to get you there and they just messed up. But I'm not gonna sit again. That defense was a total different defense that I've seen in the past of watching them. And I don't even really watch the Chicago Bears. I watch
they weren't that good. It wasn't that good.
Dog.
It was not that good of a game. No.
Coach, we letting a team that's 4-10 hijack the show right now. Man, I got to hear 2 through 5.
You're right.
I told him I didn't want to talk about it, Randy. He wanted to.
Hey, here we go. We're gonna skip the other one because
Randy, I said it. I said I didn't want to get into it.
I know, but you.
All I said was if I drafted Victor,
Randy,
I don't look at Victor. That's shiesty.
Randy, MVP. Who you got?
All right, so two things here. Two things. It's a quarterback award. I know this. I know who's going to win it.
Jonathan Taylor.
But I know Aaron Rodgers is going to win it. But, Coach, what I think we got to address this. They said Mike was the water boy. He didn't play football. We got to talk about that, Mike. Jim coming at your head, bro.
Jim, I promise you big as hell. But I came for people's heads. I'm going to knock you down, boy.
I could say something that would get Jim fired up on a Sunday, but I'm not going to. We're going to stick to this. All right, back to MVP. Jonathan Taylor.
Breeze's ribs, though. But, hey, that's a conversation for a different day.
Jonathan Taylor, I'm making his MVP case. The fact that in the odds he's still behind Brady is laughable. We saw Brady just get shut out, man. Look, he don't deserve to be in the top 3 right now in MVP. It just is what it is. JT is accounted for 40% of the Colts offense. 1,600 rushing yards, 17 rushing touchdowns, 5.5 yards per carry. I mean, 300 yards receiving, a couple more touchdowns there. Like I said, Coach, I know this is a quarterback award, and I know that Aaron Rodgers is probably going to win back-to-back MVPs. And I'm not even saying that he doesn't deserve it, but the fact that it's a quarterback award and Brady, odds favorite, is more likely to win it than Jonathan Taylor is not right to me, and I think JT needs to be in the conversation. Just like I thought Derrick Henry should have been in the conversation last year, and I hate the Titans.
Yeah. I got Jonathan Taylor. I'll just leave it at that. If it's not Jonathan Taylor, that's a bullshit award.
It's not.
It really is.
It's a quarterback because we've all just said it. Well, we just had a conversation. How many people right now, Mike, is the Chicago Bears trading first round, second round picks for Jonathan Taylor?
I don't even want to get into that.
But no. But
I don't know what they're gonna do.
But people will pay. They'll trade a first, second round pick for who? A quarterback.
Right.
Like that's the conversation.
Right.
So when
that's just the overall value of what a quarterback is worth.
Like I think Jonathan Taylor be offensive player of the year and that. But I think they're gonna give it's a quarterback. This is a quarterback driven league.
Well, then let's change the name of the award then, because most valuable player.
But you can say that even for what? The Heisman, right?
Agreed. I don't.
The Heisman is 9 times out of 10. If a quarterback has a good year, guess what?
Oh, they getting it.
Oh, I'm just going to comment on this. I don't even know who he is. George, I agree with you. First off, I do remember when Bill was with Cleveland. Don't let the baby face fool you. I'm a lot older than what you think. and one thing about it is Bill doesn't. You could say Bill knows offense, but the thing of what Bill does, he rely on his coaching staff. Like one thing when coaching, everybody has a meeting, and he says, "Hey, what do you think about this guy? Hey, I like this guy. I like this." Or hey, when they go 7-on-7 or when they go team, yes, of course he picks up on that. And George, I use the Madden comparison for Randy. I mean, I'm Randy, but for Mike, because Mike understands that's the one thing that everybody's pretty much done played in their life is Madden. So therefore, I was just using Madden just for the simple fact of the matter.
Oh, I'm young again, Randy. You see what this show is?
No, I said everybody play Madden
off the bench because they don't treat me like that on off the bench, man.
No. But right or wrong, does not everybody play Madden?
Man,
everybody play Madden, and guess what?
Not George, I guess.
And everybody on here, when you play Madden, everybody has their own style of play, no matter what team they get. Like I want to play with Tennessee because guess what? I don't want to run the ball. I want to air it out, and I play man. Randy might, and I think, and that was the comparison of the defensive coordinators. The other guy, he's a zone guy, and he likes to bring pressure. What's his name? Played straight up man. They played a lot of man against the Vikings. That's all I was trying to make a comparison of, George. But to answer it, man, I think they're gonna give it to Aaron Rodgers because guess what? He's the savior. He's this. Hey, you don't have a topic or nothing, especially now in NFL without Aaron Rodgers' name being mentioned. We all know it. Like I said, and what is everybody saying? Oh, where is he going to next? And if he goes to this team,
Miami.
If he goes to Miami, they're a Super Bowl caliber team. Jonathan Taylor goes to Miami, they're just who they are. But I agree with you, Randy. They should change the name to just say quarterback of the year instead of the MVP. Because when the last time a quarterback didn't win the MVP?
It was Adrian Peterson. Yeah, Adrian Peterson.
And
which Jonathan Taylor's numbers are right in line with what his MVP numbers were.
And
it's been a while. That was like 2012.
Henry's numbers surpassed all of.
They did. I think he had 2,000 yards, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Derrick Henry shouldn't have been in the conversation last year, and as a Colts fan, it hurts me to say that, but he should have been. He didn't even get a vote. Not even a vote. That is a travesty.
That's that quarterback life, baby.
And I agree with you, Coach. They are going to trade your first and second round picks because I think that I'm not going to say a dime a dozen, but running backs, their shelf life is 2-3 years now. Let's just be real about it. And they feel like they can replace you. Let's think about it from the Colts perspective. They got Marlon Mack and Nyheim Hines as their backup running backs. Marlon Mack doesn't even get any carries now. And that guy just 2 years ago was a RB1 on a lot of teams. Like, that guy's got real talent. So I think that's what you see with running backs is that they're easily replaced. And you're right, quarterbacks are not.
All right, it's 10 o'clock. Usually when we do this, it takes us forever because we've been doing our picks. Right now, Mike, you suck. You is what you call it. You at the bottom.
Let me get double the wins. If I get one right, I get 2 wins.
It doesn't matter. So here we go.
It doesn't, honestly.
Here you go, because I already know who you're going to pick on this one. First game at 12 o'clock. We got the Lions and Falcons. Randy, who you got and why?
Go on, Randy.
Give me the Lions, baby. Yes. Matt Campbell, culture code. Let's go.
Hey, do you like that book?
The Culture Code's a great book.
Yeah, I'm reading it. I'm reading that one.
Yeah, it's a great book. Culture Code.
Culture Code.
By Daniel Coyle. Great book.
Yeah, he talks about like all the different coaches and stuff. It's pretty good. Randy, I'm not Randy. I'm sorry, Mike. Who you got?
Oh, Dan Campbell, baby. Come on. Talk to me nice.
Hey, Randy, you gonna read the talent code?
Yeah, absolutely. I got it on deck.
Yeah, this is good. Hey, I'm gonna go opposite just because I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I'm gonna stay with the NFC style. Look at that. I got people already. I don't know who it is, but we're gonna ride with them.
They got a 49er in their logo, though, man. They're probably, they're just feeling a little salty after that loss, man.
Hey, it's all good. So
all good. Been there.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons. Here we go. Ravens versus Bengals. If you don't know, everybody's out at the quarterback position. Ankle, COVID. Mike, who you got? You think this is the trap game?
You better pick John Harbaugh after you just gave him all that love.
I'm going to have to give John Harbaugh because I gave him so much love. But I believe in Joey B. Joey B is the real deal. That one's for Jim. And him and what Jamar are doing.
You just said you were the water boy, man.
Hey, Jim can catch that smoke anytime. I see him lifting over 1,000 pounds on Facebook. I don't want no problems with Jim. Jim can go over there, Jim. Go over there, Jim.
Give me the Bengals, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens. But wait, is Lamar playing? I have no idea.
No. I just
not Huntley's not either.
Ankle, COVID.
Oh, because I heard COVID, but I didn't hear you say ankle. I didn't know what that meant. Yeah, I'll have to take the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals. I'm a little bit going towards Baltimore because it has been proven when you don't have any information on the quarterback or nothing.
Mike White.
And they have won games.
That's facts. I saw Huntley do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even you took it with the Cardinals when what's name was out. Not the head coach was out, the OC was out, and they still. But I'm going towards the Bengals just because man, that secondary is on. They're getting people off the streets now. So I'm gonna ride with the Bengals. Also, what's the name? Gridiron again. He said he got Cincy. He said he ain't salty already.
I was salty that y'all didn't beat the Titans. I'm just hey, I needed that.
Here we go. Rams versus Vikings. And I think Cooks is out.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going Rams.
He's got COVID.
I'm going Rams. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins when he needs to win. I don't believe in it.
No. I'm gonna go Rams. Feel like they finally started to figure it out. We got some good news. It's some game-changing news. Cam Akers will be available for the postseason, for the playoffs. So that's going to be very interesting to see if that Rams offense can become two-dimensional. I think that's been their problem all year. Where now you're starting to see, Coach, I'm sorry to hit you with it. You're starting to see teams like the Tampa Bay Bucks get a little bit one-dimensional. You know, Leonard Fournette's out, Godwin's out, Antonio Brown's going to jail. No. He's back. We'll see how long. But, you know, it's definitely a situation to where I think you're going to have to take the Rams because they're riding on that high horse right now. They have a lot of good things going for them.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. I'm riding with the Rams. To be honest with you, Mike, I like the whole COVID thing because now you're going to see people. Now it's more so coaching.
Right.
Like coaches, you see.
That makes sense to why you like it. Yeah. But I don't. I don't have coaching. I don't even have players.
Well,
it's just a bunch of mics out there.
Hey, here we go. Cause we finna go skip there. Here we go. Bills versus the Patriots. I go first. I've said it, Mike.
Man, Mike, you hate both of these people.
I said it from the beginning.
Tie game.
Bills gonna win one. Colts gonna win, and the Patriots gonna lose to the Dolphins. I'm riding with the Bills. Is that a Green Bay hat you got on?
Oh, no, sir. It's the Clemson Tigers, good sir.
Randy,
Pick of the week. Pick of the week for me. Pick of the week. Lock it down. Stone cold lead pipe lock. Patriots over the Bills. I'm not taking that Bills coaching staff or Josh Allen in a game that decides the division. You got to show me. Call me Missouri. Show me.
Well, Randy, we will be on the instant messenger going back and forth today.
Shall.
I will.
I do not want to root for the Patriots. Ever.
No. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't care who. Look, I don't care who you want to root for. Hell, I don't want to root for the Bills because I said it from the beginning. I didn't think the Bills are what they are. But I will unmute the messenger, and we can have conversations. Mike, who you got?
I'm gonna take the Bills.
Boo.
I'm gonna take the Bills.
You can't do that.
Why not?
How do you say he's the number one coach this year, and then now you're just jumping off the bandwagon?
Because he didn't lose this game yet.
He's preemptively taking him off his list.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay. Here we go. We got Jaguars versus Jets. Oh. I'm not gonna watch neither one, but I'm gonna go with the Jets. They at least can play defense.
I'm gonna go with the Jets too, and I don't know enough to even really make an educated guess. Other than I know the Jets have been in some games. I think didn't they, or was it the Giants that beat the Saints? Jim, I'm not sure.
Yes.
Just since you was taking shots at my boy Mike, I'm coming at you, Jim.
Jim, could
who you got, Mike?
1,000-pound bench press. Get out of here. I'm wearing a Clemson hat. I would be very disrespectful if I didn't give my boy some love. I'm going to say Trevor Lawrence pulls this one out for a moral victory. They need something. That team needs something to be proud of going in the next year. Like we talked about it with the Lions. There needs to be something at the end of the season we say, hey, well, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like you need something. And these are one of those games where you can actually obtain that. I think it's going to be James Robinson and Trevor Lawrence very heavy today running the ball. I don't see them passing very much because, like you said, Robert Saleh is one hell of a coach from a defensive perspective. So those kids can ball. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think, honestly, if we're being real, I think this is the game of the week. I think this is the game of the week right here. when you actually look at like score wise and like down to the wire, this is the game like that's going to be right down to the wire. I think so. But off of hype, definitely not. But
well, like
it's gonna be
9-6.
Yeah, like it'll literally be like 7-9, like close as shit. Like it'll be 10-9, like something crazy. But it's definitely gonna be a good game. I think I'm gonna take the Jags though.
That's the worst take I've heard today. This is not the game of the week. Come on, Mike.
I think it is.
No, Randy, it is. This is the game of the week or who's getting the first round draft pick. That's the only thing. This is the only battle right now.
I think the Lions get it regardless, don't they?
The Jaguars are 2-12. They got the same amount of wins.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
So that's why I said
fumbled.
Look, these are the battle. This game right here is the battle of the first round.
I think it could be the game of the week.
Yeah. Only people watching it is
who wants that boy from Michigan? That's all they're playing for right now. And Robert Saleh wants that boy from Michigan. That defensive edge. That kid.
Here we go. Giants versus Eagles.
Eagles.
Moving on.
Oh man, so quick.
Yep. Yeah. Not letting Freddie get on the show. Moving on.
But are we really gonna say that though? Giants did beat them last time.
I feel like there's more of an identity now with the Eagles offense. Just a little bit more of an identity.
I just don't trust Hurts, man. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I picked him last time to play when they played the Giants, and he threw 3 picks inside the 10. So I'm gonna ride with him one more time. Here we go. Tampa Bay versus Carolina Panthers.
Carolina.
Why?
Just because
of me?
Just my pick.
I'm going Bucks.
I'm gonna go Bucks. Only reason I'm going Bucks because you can't run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina can't run the ball. You're not gonna run the ball. Now, if you throw it, you got a chance because we got our safety out and the corner out.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
and Godwin and Leonard Fournette and Mike.
I'm not worried about that.
Mm.
And again, but I did say this: we gotta lose one more before the season over with. I did predict that, but I don't think it's this Sunday. Like I think you said, Mike Evans. Mike Evans, he's a deep threat guy. Godwin is a drag guy. I think
AB's playing, right?
Yeah, AB's playing.
Yeah.
But you got guys to make up for Godwin.
Right.
You just don't have nothing. You don't have a legit vertical threat. But that's what I'm gonna ride with because AB does run the best routes on that team. You, Mike, that's not.
No, I hear you. I thought you were gonna end it at runs the best routes, and I was like,
no, on the team.
I'm happy you added that.
No, on the team. like you said, Daniel, he put out a good point. They're gonna. There you go.
Scotty Miller's out for the season, isn't he?
No, he's back.
He's back. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he played last. He came in last week when everybody was hurt.
Yeah, because I was like, I ain't seen Scotty all year. I ain't seen Scotty since the Green Bay game last year.
No, he came back, but then they'll probably go more 2 tight end sets to run the ball and everything else. We're fine.
Yeah,
I know some people.
Scotty's solid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're good. That ain't midgets. Brady gonna feel like he back in New England because you got Scotty, you got AB, you ain't got no height. Everybody's 5'5". But anyway, moving on. We got Chargers versus Texas. I got the Chargers. This is a must win for them.
Yeah,
Chargers.
Justin Herbs.
Future MVP, Justin Herbert.
Future MVP, Justin Herbert. Thank you.
Oh man, okay. Bears versus Seahawks. Randy, go.
Oh man. Oh, I don't want to. Man, I gotta go. Give me the Hawks.
Coach, are you going?
Let's go Bears. Chi-Town. Chi-Town, stand up.
That does not help the fire Nagy chance.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to change it because I know Mike wants to get him fired. So, therefore,
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, Nagy. You're gonna blow it. Matter of fact, I'm about to mute. I'm about to remove Mike so he can't say nothing. Here we go. Nagy, you're gonna blow this game. But in the heart of Mike, he's gonna be going crazy because in his head, he wants you to suck. But in his heart, he wants you to win as much as possible. He gets on these rants and he acts like this, but I guarantee it, if the Bears is up, he's gonna be blowing up my phone with all kinds of Chicago Bear crap.
Oh, for sure.
But I know Mike is gonna go with the Seahawks because he wants Nagy fired. Mike is my boy. I'm going with the Seahawks also because I want to see Mike happy. At least from February to September 1st, Mike can be happy until the season starts. That's my goal.
I like it, Coach.
Now, I'm about to bring him in so he can have his rant. He done cooled off a little bit. Who you got, Mike?
Got the Seahawks.
Okay, that's it. Here we go. Steelers versus Chiefs.
That was it.
That's all you get.
Nah, we got Nick Foles today. That's the third Bears quarterback of the year. So I'm over it. I hope Bobby Wagner stiffs him, but it is what it is.
Give me the Chiefs, Coach.
Mike, who you got?
Chiefs and who?
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs. I love Tomlin, but give me the Chiefs.
Oh man. Here's what sucks about this. Because of this COVID, you really don't know who's in and who's out. But I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs. Because like even last night with the Colts game, I didn't know they had all them players was out from COVID. Like if you don't go and look them up, like
a lot of players out last night.
Like it was like I was like, God, dog.
The whole offensive line minus one guy.
Tyreek Hill is back, but even Travis Kelce's out.
Yeah, but we say that, but then when you start watching the game, because they say the linemen, like I didn't know for a fact, like the Colts. I mean, you got to really like do search on it because you just can't go to ESPN or NFL and be like, oh, okay. You got to really go to the team and look at their stuff. And
right.
The entire offensive line, your linebacker core was out. It was like
they got hit.
They got hit hard, and I didn't even know. So, but I'm gonna ride, like I said, I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs because we'll come out and everybody's out for the Chiefs. Here we go. Must win for both teams. Broncos versus Raiders.
Broncos.
I'm going Raiders just because I think this is a toss-up game, but I'm going to go to the Raiders because I think that if they get it rolling, they can do a little bit more offensively.
I'm Raiders. I don't trust the Broncos. They can't do anything offensively. Like I said, I think the head coach, he's a good DC, but I think he holds them back and don't really let people open up that offense because you got a good receiver core, you got a good young group, you got good running backs that can give you something, but I don't think they're not creative enough. It's keep it simple. And then and then you got Teddy check down. He's gonna check it down. He's not gonna give you interceptions. So Washington versus Cowboys.
Cowboys big.
Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys. That pass rush is gonna do their thing. I truly, truly believe in it.
Micah Parsons.
So, I think, is that it?
We got one more. The Monday night, Dolphins and Saints.
Dolphins and Saints.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah, Dolphins for me too.
Just because Jim.
Ian Book, I don't know you, dog. I can't go with it.
Oh, I know Ian Book.
No, I know Ian Book too. I'm just saying I ain't.
That's a bad time.
Man, that's a good. I'm gonna go Dolphins because I can't talk trash about. I can't give Tua all this credit and then you go against You go against. I mean, defense is gonna be good. They're gonna man press them.
Right.
Coach, you can tell who Daniel Ball has on his fantasy team because he throws out these stats like Gesicki 5 touchdowns, Dolphins defense 5 touchdowns. My man playing for the ship today, ain't it?
Hey man, yeah.
Shit, I'm playing for the chip, and Travis Kelce's out, so I'm done.
Oh man, I was rolling and then not looking at him. I guess I didn't look at the COVID situation.
That's what happened to me. Freaking James Conner last night. I'm in the conference championship, coach. James Conner, 10 minutes before the game on Christmas. Oh yeah, healthy scratch. Now my boys are like, nah, we're not fixing that for you. I'm like, so I just get 0 points. And I was like, that's awful. That's an awful way to go.
Yeah, you say that. I got 30 points in on the bench because I didn't know because of COVID. And I'm scratched. I gotta look for a quarterback because I got all my quarterbacks out for COVID. So
if you got Kirk Cousins in that what's it called? In that waiver wire, I would go after it.
Man, no, I got only one I can get, Trevor Lawrence Johnson.
Yeah, Trevor. They're playing the Jets.
Trevor Lawrence, I got anyway. Hey, but that's it. This is all we got. Randy, any last words, man?
I'm good, man. Go Colts. JT for MVP.
Mike, what you got? Any last words?
No. I don't got
Fire Nagy.
It's the same thing every week.
Hey, well, that's it here. I want to wish you guys, I know I'm going to talk to you guys probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes anyway, but everybody, Happy New Year's. Hey, be safe out there. I hope y'all had a wonderful Christmas. My Christmas is still going on. I'm about to go to my other side of the family, spend time with them for this wonderful day and watch some football games. Again, hey, be blessed. I enjoyed Mike, enjoy Randy. Hope to see y'all next Sunday. Hey, we out.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.